Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to another brand new episode. Today's feature singer-songwriter and returning guest, Andy Sydow. Had a great time catching up with Andy, talking about his brand new record, Measure One. And we also talk about his upcoming album for the summer he's working on. And much more. We got a big album release party. You can catch him in Denver, Colorado on March 10th. So if you were in the area, come by and see Andy and pick up a copy on vinyl and support. Or you can visit andysydow.com today and get your pre-order in there. I do want to remind you, as always, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri, serving up all your craft beer needs. Over 25 rotating taps out there every day and all kinds of delicious food. You got your, during Lent, they're doing Fish Fry Fridays every Friday, so come out and enjoy some of that. And you got some burgers and nachos, flatbread pizzas and pretzels and all kinds of other tasty eats going on. And you can get some great live music. Every Thursday they do, you kick off your weekend over there with some Singo Bingo. This Thursday, February 22nd, is Vibes theme. Friday, February 23rd, you can catch Steve Kyle out there. And on Saturday, February 24th, Michael Marciano. And you've heard me talk about it, but if you haven't been out, you need to go see Friendship Brewing Fly High location in Flint Hill, Missouri. Serving up the same great beer, but all new dining experience out of the Fly High kitchen. You got another great opportunity for some live music out there on February 23rd from Jeff Waltshauser. And Saturday, February 24th, Corey Clapper returns. You can find their full beer menu, concert calendar, food menu, and much more at friendshipbrewingcompany.com. Get plugged in with them on Facebook and Instagram for more info. And if you are in the Hannibal, Missouri area, they just recently launched their third location up there. So swing by, grab some cold Friendship beer and some Sidekick barbecue and have a great time. But yeah, if you need anything from me, hit me up on the socials. Email me, rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. Everything else at rockpaperpodcast.com. And with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy this brand new episode with Andy Sydow.
Podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
On the edge of the suburbs, 2 blocks from the mountainside, There's a little slice of you and I, our first home. These walls held us for years, except when the ceiling fell. Passed it up, but you could still tell we made our mark. And if these were the days, we did all right. Learned how to love, learned how to fight. Now we're packing up memories in your old striped sweater, leaving something good for a small chance of better. There's boxes by the door now, and the foyer smells like vacancy. The car is filled with gasoline. Don't look back now, 'cause we'll turn it all around. Put those dreams back on the shelf. Keep them all to ourselves. Take me back home. And if these were the days, we did all right. Learned how to love, learned how to fight. Now we're packing up memories in your old striped sweater, leaving something good for a small chance of better. Fight. Now we're packing up memories and your old striped sweater. And if these were the days, we did all right. Learned how to love, learned how to fight. Now we're packing up memories, your old striped sweater, leaving something good, leaving something good. Something good for a small chance at better.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri, hanging out via Zoom with Andy Sydow. Welcome back, man.
Yeah, this is the third time, right?
Yeah, I think I know we've done this will be the second interview part, I think, on Zoom. I think we did when we did the Songwriter showcase, and that showcase is available on everything as a podcast. But did we do is there a third interview, or I know we did one before this.
I thought we did too, but I could be wrong. But also you have I was looking like 1,075 episodes ish. You're going on 1,100 episodes. You can't remember them all.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty. I did just look at the website though. I know it was like, I think the first one is in 2000. We hung out on Zoom and talk about some stuff, but we
2000. That's not that.
Or sorry, yeah, 2020. I meant sorry.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I said. I guess I didn't finish that thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but we had been friendly for a while there, but that's what was kind of cool. Like that was a good chance for us to talk. And then on 21, you came to St. Louis and celebrated your 30th birthday with us, right? And you stayed a night in my house. We went to a Cardinals game.
Yeah.
And we had that showcase in Maplewood at Focal Point.
Yep. Focal Point with Jeff.
Yeah. So
That was such a cool show.
yeah, that was such a fun weekend, man. Getting to hang and like I said, getting to spend the weekend with you, just catching up and running around town. And we got to do that show. We had, like I said, Cardinals game. Got to. I know we've talked in length about your being a big baseball fan and everything. So
Yeah.
getting to do that was a fun experience for sure, man.
That was a fun game. They played the Pirates. It feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
And, Yachty was still playing, and I actively root against the Cardinals as a
Right.
Cincinnati Reds fan. And they were playing, they were playing the Pirates, who they stink every year. So I was actively rooting against the Cardinals, but we parked in a weird parking spot over at BB's Jazz Blues and Soups, where I then played that night. And
Yeah.
we had a little fun. I mean, it was a 30th birthday party after all, but I remember when I got to the end of the set thinking, man, it was quite a day.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we also made an appearance at Broadway Oyster Bar for some lunch and got some shrimp and stuff. And
You highly recommended that shrimp, and you
yeah.
did not disappoint.
Yeah, man. But anyway, yeah, so that was really a fun time. And but since then you came back to St. Louis. You did a show here in last year, right? 23 with Sam Robbins at Focal Point.
Yes,
Was
we
that
did.
20?
That was 2022.
Oh, 22. Okay.
Yep, we did the Focal Point, and then just a few months ago in October, I did Venue on Main,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
which is, I guess, not right down the street, but
Yeah.
similar region for a touring artist.
Sure. Yeah. And I think Sam's actually he's in town this weekend at Focal Point. So
Oh, he's doing it again. Good.
yeah, he's there Saturday night. So
Awesome.
yeah. But yeah, man. So we it's been a bit since we got to sit down. That's what long way to get there. But I'm excited to be here with you again today, talking and catching up. And since we last spoke, you made a big life change and headed to Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes.
And now that's you set up shop there. So let's talk about this, man. What made you come to that decision that it was time to leave to Colorado?
Well, we both my wife and I have been there for pretty much our whole lives, and we love Colorado, but we'll probably end up back there at some point. But we don't have kids yet, and kind of still flexible to do whatever we want, I guess, within reason. And I've always flirted with the idea. There's such a huge music community here, which has always intimidated me, to be honest with you. But it's also incredibly exciting. And now moving here, the community's everywhere. Everybody's in the industry. You talk to your bartender at the local brewery, and his girlfriend's a musician, and then she gets you a show, and it's just this gigantic but very small incestuous musical circle, which is fun to be a part of. So that was a big part of the reason for the move. Also, I was hoping to make touring easier. We're yet to see how that really works out, but traveling out of Denver is difficult. That, you're going 8 hours really in any direction if you're going out on the road. So day one and day two really also is kind of difficult. Whereas Nashville, you can go do, just this last weekend I was in, it wasn't my own stuff, but I was just in Cincinnati and Cleveland. Cincinnati Friday, Cleveland Saturday, drove home Sunday, was home 3 hours before the Super Bowl started, and it all worked out. So, those are kind of the two things, the community and travel ability.
Yeah. I mean, I talk about it a lot with my friends on the show, and being, how ideal St. Louis is to tour out of for that same reasons. It's like it's right in the middle of the map. It's easy to hit a bunch of different markets in a couple hours drive, and it's pretty ideal for being a touring musician, and especially think I think it's similar, but obviously Nashville is probably a little bit more being where the cost of living and everything there. But that's what also is nice factor for St. Louis is that it's reasonably affordable for a musician to live here and stuff. And so all those things are good to consider and stuff. Like I said, you're as a touring wise and everything else, and trying to make a living in doing this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But what? So you are you adjusting pretty well? Are you finding you're getting in some different writing circles or any of that kind of stuff, or?
Well, it's been an adjustment. First off, I love our home.
Yeah.
I mean, this studio here is unbelievable. Our entire apartment wasn't much bigger than this in Denver. This is cool. We've upgraded in that respect. But in terms of the adjustment, until the beginning of this year, I was out of town literally as much as I was in town, because I had dates and was also going back to Denver. I'm still going back to Colorado a decent amount because I have gigs there.
Right.
I can go home to make money, but I love being here. I'm still kind of figuring it out and navigating what my place is. But I love being here. It's a fun spot to be. So I guess yes and no. I'm fine by the seat of my pants a little bit, but I'm a little more relaxed than I was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Right after the move, I was freaking out a little bit.
Yeah, I do feel like that's kind of the nice thing about like you said, how everybody's in the business. So it's like there's the possibilities of networking and stuff through the city like that. Like there's all sorts of world-class songwriters and guitar players, and everybody is connected somehow to the business and or makes music videos or do whatever it might be. So it's kind of exciting in that sense, where you can meet some people that might get you in the next door and open up another opportunity. So
it seems like everybody's doing something really cool. You meet somebody on Friday and you follow each other, and then on the next Thursday you see they're touring as the keyboardist for some huge artist out on the road. Like, whoa, it's everywhere. Stuff's happening.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that hopefully continues to grow for you there, and you get to like I said, do you have any interest in that stuff, like co-writing and stuff, like
oh yeah, I forgot to address the writing. I've never written so much in my entire life.
Right.
It's very organically happening. I still have a lot of Zoom writes, and not everybody that I'm writing with lives in Nashville, but just being here leads to a lot of writes. I had a co-write here at the house yesterday. I had one a few days before that. So I've got probably an average of 2 co-writes a week. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 3 or 4, but I'm writing all the time. It's wild.
Nice. Yeah. I got a couple of buddies down there doing, hustling, trying to get, get their songs heard and get, maybe sell a song to somebody else, kind of thing. So they've been down there working hard, and it's just fun to see them, actually doing it, chasing the dream, making things happen. So,
and I forget your buddy's name. Your buddy and my buddy got a cut on a Reba album a few months ago, right?
Matt Wynn.
Matt Wynn wrote a song for Reba McEntire's new album with Olivia Rudine, who's a friend of mine. We went to college together.
Yeah.
And I had just heard Matt's name for the first time, I think through Olivia or social media or something, when you texted me with his name. So
yeah,
whole world.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he grew up not far from me, and then he real talented guy, and he was on the first Deb Stock show I put together for my benefit for my mother, and so he's been a great friend for a long time. So I'm very excited that he's had the success that he's had recently and stuff, and getting to hang out with Reba and cut that song and stuff, and it's very cool. So 7 Minutes in Heaven, if you haven't heard that one, go play that song.
Yeah.
Give it a check that out. Well, Well, let's talk about some of your new music. You've been active, very busy, like I said, writing and recording, and you put out a new record. What was that? December, I guess. Measure One came out.
Yeah. Yes.
And this is sort of a kind of a reimagining of some of your other previous songs, which was cool to hear, like this orchestra arrangements on some of your songs that people may have heard on your previous 2 EPs, I guess. But man, this really turned out great. I really enjoyed it, and you now have it available for pre-order on vinyl, which is super cool. So
Thank you for ordering one, by the way. I really
yeah, I gotta support, man. I gotta support the homies.
love it.
But yeah, I'm excited to put that on the table and give it a spin. So, yeah, tell me about how this idea came about, the project, and wanting to put together orchestra arrangements on these songs.
Yeah, so it's I've always had an interest in movie scores, and I mean I'm always fascinated by it. Yeah, and it never ends. Right now I'm watching Masters of the Air on Apple TV, and I'm listening to that soundtrack on Spotify when I run. I just
Yeah.
can't get enough of orchestral music and writing for scenes, and whether it's classical or a cinematic kind of thing. It's fascinating, the process and the sounds. So anyway, several years ago I went back to school and got a certificate in composing for film and television and orchestration from Berkeley Online, and I took all these classes, learned about writing for all the different instruments of the orchestra, doing MIDI mock-ups, like playing different parts on a keyboard for the instruments, as well as scoring them, writing the actual music. And I got to write for a bunch of deleted movie scenes and stuff. I got to write and program a video game. It was just an amazing experience. And when I got out of school, when I got out of that certificate, it was sort of like, well, what do I want to do? If I want to be a composer, I got to go to LA and get coffee and fold cables for somebody for 5 or 6 years and see if that leads to something. But my thing has always been first for me, my singer-songwriter career. So I didn't want to do that. And so I kind of let it, I guess, fall to the wayside for a little while. And I wanted to do it again. I missed it. I missed the orchestration, the act of it. So I took several of my songs, some released, some unreleased, and wrote arrangements for a full symphony. The full, not just a string quartet, but the full symphony. And I sent it to a few orchestras in Colorado and kind of pitched the idea of, maybe I could play these songs with your orchestra. Maybe we can do some sort of collaboration. And the best response was, that'll be $25,000. And I guess I hadn't thought about that before I composed everything and wrote out the music. So I went back to the drawing board and decided that I would fund it myself, but I'd have to cut down the instrumentation significantly. So I went with a string quartet and a horn, a French horn. So it's me and 5 other musicians. I wrote all the arrangements for 5 original songs plus a Pearl Jam cover.
Oh yeah.
And it was just a blast getting to write music that way. I mean, it's hard to describe. It's sort of Tetris or Sudoku like.
Yeah.
You got to see where all the parts fit together, and the instruments have to be in a certain range for their part to stick out. There's all kinds of silly things to it, and though that there's an infinite amount of possibilities, it feels like you got it. There's one way to get it just right. Yeah, so that's where it started, and I'm fascinated by how it turned out.
Yeah, man. I I wanted to highlight one, if you don't mind. I chose Just Want You to Notice Me Again. I thought this one in particular was especially beautiful with the arrangement, and the lyrics are, very, very good. To hit home for sure, and like just a really powerful message. And I think like it comes through maybe even more so with this arrangement than you previously on your previous EP. So
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, man, this is a killer tune, and so take a listen to "Just Want You to Notice Me Again" from Andy Sydow's Measure One.
I don't wanna be a Hollywood star, so when you're drinking with your friends, I'll be the poster at the bar. And as you finish off your lying glass of gin, just want you to notice me again. They'll paint my picture up on Highway 17, so when your boyfriend drives to work, he's thinking of me. I don't mean to pry or get under your skin, just want you to notice me again. But if I was in high places, I'd have never let you down. Hell, if I could find a roof, I bet you'd still settle down. 'Cause the time that stands between us ain't about the riches or the fame. Just want you to notice me again. Maybe I'll be a guru and write my own rules, preaching how to live with just a few simple tools. And as you try to find yourself within, just want you to notice me again. Well, and you might see me in fancy magazines. I tell my story, how I got these glamorous things. I swear to God, I won't try to rub it in. Just want you to notice me again. But if I was in high places, I'd have never let you down. Hell, if I could find a roof, I bet you'd still settle down. 'Cause the time that stands between us ain't about the riches or the fame. Just want you to notice me again. Oh. I'll be a big lawyer when the courtroom's on the fence. I'll string the loophole in a capital offense. And as you sit on the jury of an innocent man, just want you to notice me again. But if I was in high places, I'd have never let you down. Hell, if I could find a roof, I bet you'd still settle down. 'Cause the time that stands between us, there ain't just one thing to blame. Just want you to notice me again. I just want you to notice me again.
Yeah, man. And you can find the digital version of all this now on all your favorite streaming platforms. But like I said, now available for vinyl pre-order on andysydow.com. And you're doing a big album release party back home in Colorado, right? On March 10th.
March 10th at Dazzle in Denver at the Denver Performing Arts Center. And I'm playing live with everyone who recorded on this record, except for the cellist. I actually haven't locked in my cellist yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But it's a vinyl release show. The vinyls just came in last week. I had them sent to Colorado, but my manager sent me 2 of them so I could test it for myself.
Yeah.
And they were mystery color, but it's a gray tie-dye vinyl. So the show's going to be awesome. And I arranged, besides, doing the full record, I arranged 3 more songs, a Chris Isaak song and 2 of my originals for the show as well. So there'd be some different exclusive stuff at the show that you don't get on the record.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I do really, you mentioned the Pearl Jam cover. I do really enjoy the Just Breathe. It's another great tune, and it's cool to hear your take on it. And so those were definitely a couple highlights for sure. But what was this is the first time you've been pressed on vinyl, right?
Yeah, first time. I've been wanting to, but this is
right. So what's that like when those 2 showed up at the house? Like, was that pretty surreal seeing your name on there? And
absolutely, yeah. And I mean, I recently gave up my CD collection, which was painful, but I got rid of it. At this point, we do Spotify and we do vinyl records.
Yeah,
which I think is a lot of people in our generation now. So to finally see my music on a record is pretty wild. And I've got it. My wife has this wonderful 8-record display downstairs in the living room. So we've got our record player, and then there's like 8 records hanging up on the wall, and we switch them out every month.
Yeah.
And that's like what we listen to that month. If we want to listen to a record, it's usually one of those 8 records. So the process is delicate every month. But I went ahead and cheated, and I pulled Tyler Childers off the wall and put my record up there for this month, and it's pretty cool to see it.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tyler.
Yeah.
Better look next month.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, man. Very cool. Yeah, I've got a couple. I mean, I try to buy as much vinyl as I can, and when I can, and it's just cool to see my friends supporting vinyl and doing these records like this, and whether it's some are doing splits and stuff still, and like those are always cool, and like doing different things. But I love having when they can afford to do so, get a nice insert and cool colors, and maybe even some different pictures, and and having the whole spread in there and stuff. So that kind of stuff is all lost in this digital era now, and it's really cool to see album art, like I said, like displayed on a wall like that, and these different things, and embrace all that, because it's just you don't get the same effect looking at your little JPEG file on your screen on Spotify or whatever. So
it's so true. And I have to say, I don't have an insert this time, but I do have cool colors.
Yeah. So I've also been there's a Romanus Records follow online. I kind of become friendly with them just through buddies of mine, pressed a record with them, and they've been doing a lot of these like filled vinyl records, all kinds of things. But they just did the Alice in Chains Jars of Flies 30th anniversary pressing that actually has real dead flies inside the record. And so they do like crazy boutique kind of stuff like that. And
like inside the vinyl?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
It's really cool. Like, so yeah, check that out. It sold out like immediately, and they're already like, on eBay for thousands of dollars kind of thing. So, but it would have been cool to have one of those for sure. But
that's wild.
Yeah. They do some other, one was like a black light filled, like a, glow in the dark, kind of, slime or whatever kind of thing. So then like whenever you spin it under a black light, like it looks like all glow in the dark and stuff. So things like that. I don't know where they come up with these ideas, but it's cool, man. It makes for a fun record.
Wow.
So check them out if you get a chance, if you're into that kind of stuff. So
absolutely.
Yeah, so again, visit andysydow.com. You can find all your tour dates there. Also, like I said, you got a run of shows around that release party. But you also, before we get there, you're going to Folk Alliance again in Kansas City next week and stuff. So you got a big run of shows for the week there. So coming to a town near you, if you want to come see Andy live, that'd be a great way to do it. So, and then of course you're all over Nashville when you're home and stuff too. You've got dates all over the calendar. So, check all that out. And, along with your music, I wanted to talk about, you're still doing your podcast, Middle Class Rock Star. Yes. And just, put out a new episode a bit ago with Goldpine, and I really enjoyed listening to that.
Yeah. So, they're kicking ass, and they're always on the road. The classic husband-wife duo. It's they rock. They have great music, great people, and they were kind enough to come over and give me some tips of the tricks of the trade.
Yeah, that was kind of fun to, like you just kind of picking their brain about tour life. So and I also enjoyed that you said we didn't hear any of the audio of that, but you said, all right, let's go cook some dinner. And I just thought that was cool, thinking about, cause like, one of my favorite shows is, that Live at Daryl's house. And it's always kind of like, they jam and eat dinner together and just hang out and stuff. And so it's that kind of, experience that it's not just, hey, let's do this interview or whatever. We're like, let's be friends and, make something, enjoy a nice meal together and everything else. So,
well, that's how I got him to do the podcast.
Right?
I had to cook him dinner.
Yeah, gotta sweeten the deal, huh?
That's right.
Yep. What'd you end up cooking?
So we did an assortment of veggies and grilled chicken, marinated in, I don't even remember what now. Yeah. So chicken and veggies.
Yeah, man. Well, that don't sound bad.
No.
I can handle that. You enjoy cooking? Is that is that a passion of yours, or?
Well, if I'm being honest, I put the chicken in the marinade and Allie cooked the meal while I was interviewing.
There you go.
Ben and Cassie. So no, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it when I can, and I make a few dishes, but I'm not, it's not something I do nightly. I'm fairly simple. I eat a sandwich. I have the same thing for lunch every single day.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm fairly basic, but Allie's great at cooking, and I've got a few things, and she's a great baker as well. We've always got, cookies, or she's always got something going, and she also brews beer. Whoa. So so I'm covered. It's all good.
She does it all, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. It's nice having a partner like that. You can, support each other in that way, where like me and Stacy do a lot of trading off. Like she'll cook some dinners and I'll usually stay up and I'll do our like meal prep and for all of our lunches and things and that kind of stuff. So we split all the cooking responsibilities and things.
That's great.
Do you have like a favorite spot in Nashville now that since you've been like for lunch or dinner? Is there like have you found that a secret local spot that you really love?
There's a couple spots. I don't know that any of them are secrets, but so we're members of the Mug Club at Tailgate Brewery, which is right down the street from us. And on Tuesday nights, Mug Club members get $1 20-ounce beers, and that's just that's wild. I mean, that is dinner. Two of those and you're good. One of those and you're good, really, depending on the ABV. But then there's two other spots. There's Saunders Ferry Pizza, which is it's just the best pizza. I absolutely love it, and really cool people, a nice community. And then we like this place called Vinyl Tap. It's a record store / bar. They also don't serve food, but it's a record store / bar, and it's just they have music there sometimes. And it's small, it's tiny. You wouldn't expect that they have all the good new releases, but they manage to. It's a small record section, but they've got it all at the same time, you know.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool spot for sure, man.
Yeah, if you come down, well, I'll take you there. There's also the Bowery Vault. As just a place to go listen to music. It's a very small room. That's always a listening room. You're not talking; it's just listening to music, which I love. And they have a couple, little like cocktails and things, and but that's not a restaurant, just a listening room. But I wanted to mention them too. It's a fun.
So, are you going out? Besides playing and stuff and things, but are you going back to the pod? Are you recruiting anybody for the podcast, or how are you? What are you doing these days for as far as the show wise?
I'm not currently, I guess with the move, I quit doing the weekly or every other weekly. And I'm, for the time being, just finding, if I want somebody on, I'll go after them and see what happens. But it's been a little bit more back burner lately while I've just kind of been resorting my priorities. But I love doing Middle Class Rock Star, and I plan to keep it going and rev it back up.
Yeah, because you've been doing it for a long time now. How long has that show been going now?
August of 2018, and I've got 125 episodes out. So I've got a long, long ways to go to catch you.
I'm May I'll hit 10 years of doing the show.
Wow.
But there was a while there I was doing sometimes 4, I think even sometimes I hit 5 episodes in a week. That was like I was just recording like crazy, putting all kinds of stuff out there. But I'm much like yourself, I've been consistent, like with 1 a week, but I've definitely slowed things down quite a bit recently, life happens. You get it's not the priority that it once was, but I still love doing the show. I still enjoy seeing my friends and getting to talk music, and so it is this is my creative outlet, so I don't want to ever quit doing it, but until those Rogan checks start coming in, then I'll have to do some other stuff too. So
he could, he could give $1 million to like 300 other podcasts and still be rich.
Right. Yeah. He's doing all right.
Well, congrats. I mean, I admire how consistent you've been, and you're good at it, and you do your research, and almost 1,100 episodes. I mean, I thought it was a miracle when I hit 100. So.
Yeah. It's fun, man. It's just like much like you mentioned too, with being an artist in the city like this. Networking is I feel like the podcast is a great networking tool. It doesn't come off as creepy when you have a show. If you want to ask people to want to hang out, it's like there's already the icebreaker that I have a podcast, and so.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get to hang out with some of your favorite people. So.
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah, man, so check out Middle Class Rockstar wherever you get podcasting, and click subscribe and tune in, and have a good time with Andy on there also. I wanted to highlight another tune, if you don't mind. I also chose you've been doing these like a artist spotlight kind of recordings, and you just did 2 Justin Townes Earl tunes.
Yes.
That's your latest release, and I went and listened to those, and you did Mama's Eyes, which beautiful song. I for me, really, that one hits pretty hard. I just recently got into Justin. I went more really when the news that he had passed, and I'd always heard his name, but I never really got into his catalog a whole lot. So it's unfortunate that I discovered him too late in that sense. But I had a bunch of friends writing some really nice messages about Justin, and either playing shows with him or what his music meant to them and things. And so one day at work, right around that time, I spent and deep dive into his catalog, and that one definitely spoke to me. And
yeah,
the message in the song I connected to a lot. I also, me and my dad, unfortunately, struggle with our relationship, and so there's a lot of these lines that spoke right to me and stuff, and so
yeah.
But I don't know. Is there any personal reason why you chose these songs, or is it just that these are two of your favorites as a fan, or why these two Justin Town Earl songs?
Yeah, this project called Modern Songwriters I do with my buddy AJ Fullerton, and volume 1 was His Golden Messenger's music, and now volume 2, Justin Townes Earl. And we sort of just got together and said Justin would be a great one to do. And I think when we decided to do it, he had just passed as well, or, fairly recently. So Harlem River Blues was one of the songs we did. And I've always loved that it's an upbeat groove, but the line is, Lord, I'm going uptown to the Harlem River to drown. Dirty water's going to cover me over and I'm not going to make a sound. I just love that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mama's Eyes was the one I chose, actually, of the two. And it's just a beautiful song.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful sentiment. I don't know that I have any personal real life reasons relating to it at all, but I just love the song and wanted to try to do my own thing with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Great tune, man. Well, check that out right here.
Father's son, never known when to shut up. I ain't fooling no one. I am my father's son. We don't see eye to eye. I'll be the first to admit I've never tried. Sure it hurts me, sure hurts sometimes. We don't see eye to eye. When first found my pleasure in the field of a sin, I went down the same road as my old man, but I was younger then. It's 3 a.m. and I'm standing in the kitchen holding my last cigarette. Strike a match and I see my reflection in the mirror in the hall, and I say to myself, I've got my mama's eyes, her long thin frame and her smile. I still see wrong from right, 'cause I've got my mama's moments eyes. Yeah, I've got my moments eyes.
And like I said, all that's available. Spotify, Apple, wherever you're getting your music at. Check that out and add to your favorite playlist. And on the topic of new music, you were telling me right before we clicked record that you might be expecting some more brand new music from Andy in a couple of months, maybe the summer and stuff. We might start seeing some things happening on a brand new record.
Yeah. Well, so I've been putting out singles pretty continuously too between all this. I've got one coming out on Friday called The Small Chance of Better. But the next full album is one that I actually recorded in 2021 that Anders Osborne produced, and Mike Dillon played on it, and Cassandra Falconer. Kick-ass band. It was recorded in Maurice, Louisiana at Dockside Studio. And Anders was, my favorite artist as a young adult, teenager and in my 20s, and just a huge influence. So when I got the opportunity to record with him and get in the room with him, it was just so wild. And I can't believe I haven't shared the music yet, and I'm really, really excited too.
Yeah. What was some of the delays you think for why it's been sitting for a couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is you want it to be perfect in the social media world and things going viral. You want everything to be just right. And then you realize maybe that's kind of silly, but it doesn't keep the thought out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I had hired a lawyer to pitch it to some record labels. Nothing quite panned out the way I wanted it to, and just some indie labels,
Mm-hmm.
for community and distribution purposes. And then, yeah, I guess it all just kind of stacked up, and
Right.
time went by, and now I'm sitting on it. And at a certain point, I decided I just actually got my final no from the last label I was waiting on. That I was hopeful to put it out on. But so while I was waiting, I said, well, I'm going to put out the orchestra album, even though it was recorded after the Anders album.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to put out the orchestra thing and lean into that. And then when I get done with that, I'll revisit this. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's next on the docket.
Is that, I feel like maybe I don't know. Maybe it's good to step away from it for a minute, like and then revisit it with fresh ears, just like kind of separate yourself from the project for a moment. And is that the case at all? Or I feel like, cause I feel like sometimes when you're like, you can be real nitpicky on it, but then like once you go back and revisit, you're like, actually there's some really good stuff here. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes you're overcritical in the moment sometimes.
I think absolutely that happens to me all the time. I think in the case of this album, though, the fact that it was produced by, my biggest musical influence,
Sure.
when it was done and had the stamp on it, there was nothing that I would have gone back and done differently.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I can never say that about any project I've ever done, but because of the nature of, it was the two of us together with a couple other wonderful musicians and engineers. And it was a 3-day thing. I flew into New Orleans. He picked me up from the airport on a Monday. He dropped me off on Friday. We lived together. We cooked together. We swam together Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Made music. So that record really just captures a period of time that I'll
Sure.
always look back on
Yeah, man.
fondly. So honestly, in the case of that record, I wouldn't. There's not a thing I would change. I'm so proud of it.
I think that's like you nailed it, right? Because that's how I feel about the records. Like, sure, there's imperfections and things sometimes, but it's just a timestamp. This is what we captured for that time period in that room, and like this is, and it's fun that there's so many things I have like demos or or whatever, just different recordings of songs that I love. What that is, that particular recording, for whatever reason, it's got little things that I love that I've grown to, really appreciate, that and then like get lost sometimes when they do put it on a different recording or something like that. But there's something about just that live take or that demo version or whatever. There's something raw about it, sometimes. And, it doesn't, so it's that moment. There's something magical that happens on that recording at that time. So
Yeah.
those kind of things I always truly love. And so I'm pumped to hear this record, man, hear what you two came up with. And then, like I said, you got some Mike Dillon, like I said, some special guest part of the band. So that's going to be a treat, man. I'm excited to hear what you got coming up. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. As I was saying that, I was also just recently was listening to the 500 with Josh Adam Myers, and he does the Rolling Stone 500 greatest albums of all time, and he talking about all these different records, and he's up to Bruce Springsteen's Nebraska. As I was listening to that, and he was kind of talking about the lore behind that record, that it was really never meant to be a record, that it was all like, these are all demo recordings that, or something like, and then that ended up being it was on a tape. And Bruce was like walking around with this album on a tape, and then and I don't know, I guess they ended up talking him into releasing it as an album. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird to think about that. He's like recording these demos in a bedroom, and then all of a sudden, like, they're like, yeah, let's do that. Let's put that out. When he's like got this great rock and roll band and stuff with him.
And it's a legendary record. It's just him and a guitar.
Right.
State Trooper. That's I don't know. It's a cool record. And I think Ryan Adams put out Nebraska as well. I think he did covered the whole album, which is kind of neat.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't know why, but that's what popped in my mind. I was thinking about that. So it's a really cool idea, to hearing them talk about that record and stuff. So, you mentioned, your Measure One, your orchestra arrangements and stuff. And I forgot to mention, when we're talking about that, you were, pitching the idea of doing it with the full orchestra, and they wanted to charge you like $25,000 kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to be a couple cool things at Powell Symphony Hall here in St. Louis, and one I saw the symphony with do Jurassic Park live to the movie,
right.
And that was really cool. And then I also saw them with do Nightmare Before Christmas to the movie also, and that was a nice treat. But I think the highlight really for me, and I know he's done a couple of different cities, but Amos Lee came to town and performed a whole set with he did a couple of tunes, just him and an acoustic guitar, but for the majority of the set was with the orchestra. And man, that was so cool. Like,
oh yeah,
guys, one of the best, one of the greats. But it was something really special, like you said, bringing these songs to life that way with his big arrangements on them. And so maybe, definitely something to shoot for. We got the string arrangements and on there, and hopefully we'll get the full orchestra symphony.
Well, that would be the coolest. It'll happen at some point.
Yeah.
It'll happen at some point. But I love hearing songwriters with orchestra. Gregory Alan Isaacoff does it with the Colorado Symphony every year. I saw Ben Folds with the Colorado Symphony last year. It's a cool way to present your music.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it'd be fun though. But score stuff, seeing especially Jurassic Park and John Williams stuff, and there's those are really fun to hear live. Like you're saying, like I never really got in. It's not something I really didn't pay too much attention to when I was younger, but it's something I really learned to appreciate now as an adult and a fan of music and stuff. Seeing it live, of course, like it's impressive to see these arrangements and like that. So I can't imagine what kind of work goes into trying to compose that. And like you're saying, I'm trying to get them all to work together.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, man. Well, we got a lot of new music on the way. We got, and of course, Andy's always been working, so we got plenty of stuff up there already. Like I said, that Justin Townes Earls covers are on there. You got also you put out a new song on New Year's Eve, so there's that tune up there also.
Yep, this New Year's Day.
Yeah, man. So very been busy. So. And I can't wait to hear what's next for you, man. So, but I appreciate you taking a little time out and hang with me, and hopefully we'll get you back here in St. Louis sometime soon, since we're not too far away from each other now.
I'm going to email Jeff right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And which is, man, Focal Point, such a cool room. That's, it'd be fun to get you back in there and do it again.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, maybe I'll make a trip down to Nashville this year and come hang out with you down there and see a show and catch up with some friends.
We've got a guest room. Please do.
Yeah, man, that sounds good. We'll get to come see Crash at your house the next time, since you stayed with me and get to
only if it's your birthday.
Yeah. My birthday's June 19th, so
all right.
Maybe we'll plan something for that weekend or something. That'd be fun.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, dude, I appreciate you. I'm glad that we've become buds and we've continued this friendship for many years now, and it all started via the internet. So it's cool that we've become great friends over the years now.
Absolutely, yeah, Shane. I appreciate your friendship and taking the time. It's great chatting and catching up.
Yeah, man. So visit andysydow.com for tour dates and grab that vinyl while you can. But thanks, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, my friend.
Bye, everybody. We did it.
We did it.